Hey everyone, Rebekkah Lab. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. I am doing all kinds of stuff with my son. But I remember I was talking about that king that I seen, and he had all the gold around him, and he stayed his higher self without being all on his own. Like we brought him in, and then he did the work. Remember I said he was listening to high frequency meditations and stuff, like he's been doing what I do is like you can put one on for like 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever, and you just fall asleep to them, and you're like your cell's listening still, your energy's still listening, so you're sleeping in high vibrational frequency, so you wake up like hyper and happy. Everybody says crock, it's not. I just feel on top of the world all the time because I am. But anyway, so I was talking to him again today. He came to visit me, and I was telling him about the chapter, remember? Dynamic, my book. So, and I didn't even know what dynamic meant for like at least a month of writing this book, but it makes sense now because they have me teaching evolution, right? So dynamic is the process of change and evolution within our system is linked to the world dynamic. But the chapter Decoding the Demon, right? So he's followed me, and like anyone that was spent time with me back then or any now, like humanity, so you call me crazy, but that's them. Because I had to, remember in the beginning, I had to heal everyone that came to you, and he sent the notes first. So they got to witness everything as well, like the breathing thing and the frequency stuff in my room and the stuff I was playing in. So anyways, Decoding the Demon. I didn't have to say anything, and I didn't understand fully the chapter either until I wrote it last night and read it, because that's how it works. Sorry, Jezebel spirits on here. So I read it, and I'm like, yeah, like, cause we decoded the demon. I was just seeing what it's gonna say. I'm like, we decoded it, so obviously they put a chapter in there called Decoding the Demon. We decoded it with, physics. We decoded the narc with physics. First, we linked the narc and the demon as one person, or as one entity, you know what I mean? The narc and the demon are the same thing. So we decoded the everything about them through physics, the scale, and then we decoded everything about them through psychology, and then we don't need to do it all over again, and then we decoded them and linked everything in a line with religion, Jesus there, and then we linked it all again, decoded it through spirituality, and came up with one answer, right? And we all, if you don't know the answer, go back and find it, but it's the black video where you don't need to be looking at me, you just need to hear the message. So we did it. We decoded the human form of demon, right? So at first I thought that was just all of it. It wasn't. And this king knew. And he told me. He said, you decoded the demon, right? The frequency. Because there's a frequency that I was given to fucking fakes, right? All this color around me isn't fake. Gold. And I was given one to fix that was what a lot of the world, the spiritual world was all about. It's about energy. It's not anything more than that. It's about them taking our energy, and all that color around me that's my identity, and that's what they're after. Hello, I have gold in my lineage. Every empath does. So this frequency is, when I was learning it, healing, and given this, I was shown, feels exactly the same as sickness and stress and everything that blocks your system. It feels exactly like this frequency. So I was given it to fix it, to fuck with them and take back our power. Not just me. There's a whole bunch of us. Anyways, if you ever been around it, you know this frequency is money, and that's what they've had me fucking with. And there's a lot going on behind the scenes that you don't know about that goes on with me and people that are close. So this king should not have known that unless he was brilliant and his higher self, because only the higher self understands what I do, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and what it's about, and why. Okay? So I was just like, what? Wow. It's happening. We are back. All that beautiful color around us that did the work, and that source is fucking dropping down on us now. Wow. And that's true. You gotta cut them off and work on you, not them anymore. But anyways, this chapter, he knew what the end result was of decoding the demon. Before I told him, and it was fucking beautiful, because that means it's right. If this higher king knows, kings have gold in their lineages. It belonged to them at one point, back when, and it was robbed. So he knew what it was. So yes. Let heaven, let your light shine down.